What's up? What's up? What's up, you guys? And welcome back to another episode of Dear Black Woman, a podcast featuring Black women from different countries talking about issues that affect Black women globally. I am Cammie Red, and today I am joined by my co-host, as always, Lauren Edwards and Nicole Davis. Now, we are diving into something we all need more of: self-care. Okay. Now, in this episode, self-care rituals, reclaiming our time and energy, we're also joined by a very special guest, Andrea Cennington, also known as the Boho Therapist. Together, we'll all explore how self-care helps us reclaim our time, our energy, and our peace. From skincare routines to wellness habits and hobbies that bring us joy. We'll talk about the mental, emotional, and physical aspects of self-care. We'll share our personal rituals and expert advice on maintaining balance and preventing burnout. Now, whether you're looking to start your own self-care journey or just to deepen it, this episode is packed with tips and inspirations to help you nurture yourself in the midst of life's demands. So let's get into it, you guys. Hey, Lauren.
Hey.
Nicole. Hello, Andrea.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
All right, you guys. First of all, the Boho Therapist is with us today, okay? So it's going to be very good. She's probably going to fuss at all three of us, all right?
Never that.
So let's open up. And my first question to everybody is, what does self-care mean to you? And how has your understanding of it evolved over time? Nicole, we'll start with you because Lauren always says I pick on her first.
That cracks me up, Lauren.
It's true.
So what does self-care means to me? It means taking care of my mind, of my soul, of my body, of my spirit, all of that. I know for a long time, and especially for Black women, self-care was out of the equation. Our old elders, I can see it in my mom, who was really helping everybody for herself. So I'm really trying at that point of my life to be mindful about me and the energy that I provide to others. And I'm making a point to really listen to my gut now before I do anything these days. If my gut is not feeling it, you're not going to see me, period. So it's just trying to find a balance where your needs are met, but you are also able to be there for others as well.
Okay.
And this is what is very difficult because you need to really make a balance and make sure that you're not getting swallowed into, helping others or people pleasing others for those who are dealing with this issue. And I can say I do. So, yeah.
Okay. Listen, Lauren, when she said swallowed, you know what I thought about?
Swallowed. Do you want to be swallowed?
Yeah.
Have you been swallowed up?
Yeah, that's exactly what I went to, Andrea. When she
Excuse my friends. Excuse my friends.
I love it. I love it, baby. Bring it, baby.
Jakes, okay? Like, come on, Nicole. Okay, Andrea, what does self-care mean to you?
I come out of that section, okay? I just deleted that part.
She said, okay.
It's not uncensored, Cammie. This is not the uncensored version.
No, not yet.
Nicole curses. We all curse, so you know.
I
put the
listen, I'm doing my best to be proper, but I have a dirty mouth.
Y'all look.
I call it having seasoning, honey. It's called adding seasoning to your food.
Seasoning.
Who wants bland food? Who wants food without no flavor?
Okay.
Don't be mad because I can make my food taste with how it come out my mouth.
What?
Well, for me, I'm sorry. So, and to answer your question, I think we have to. Okay. So first off, let me say my name is Andrea Cennington. I am a licensed clinical social worker, PhD, been to school many times. And I do this because I needed this. Everybody does not come from a soft beginning, right? Shout out to Summer Walker, who is a niece in my mind, but soft life is something that we all deserve and need. And so what happens when we say self-care and we think about self, when you come from a space where folks have stolen your history and they've stolen your truth, they make it sound as if self-care is this selfish practice, when in truth, we teach people how to treat us, and how people treat us says a lot about them and not about us.
Yeah.
So what I want to do, and what I am here to do, is to toss up the proverbial white cap. I am having a tea party among mental health and physical health and wellness, not just in the United States, nationally, but internationally. Because when we are not taught, so we live from the macrocosm, which is everything that is happening into the world. It's filtered down into the microcosm that is us. So we are constantly told, not just as women of color and Black women, but as women in general, even and poor people, that we are not to engage in self-care, but we are always caring for others. But the truth is, self-care shouldn't be a ritual. It should be a daily practice. In fact, one of the things that I encourage my patients to do is snacking. And not snacking by way of like eating foods, but snacking in how you take care of yourself.
Oh, I love that.
So like some people have challenges with endurance, etc., as your body changes. So there's a concept that I learned about probably about 5 years ago. It's called exercise snacking. So you do little bits of exercise throughout the day. So I've morphed that into my practice of teaching people, showing people, encouraging people to dive into self. Because again, we teach people how to treat us. So if you are not taking care of yourself, which is self-care, but then we try to make it selfish, but it is not, right? Then other people aren't going to know how to take care of you, especially as you age. I realized that I raised, and I'll wrap up in a second, I realized I raised my children in a very democratic household. But what I did was I taught them to be very selfish and take care of themselves and each other as siblings. But I never taught them to take care of me, because I was always taking care of me. So how does that translate? That translates with, oh, she doesn't need it. Mom, she's going to be good. Yeah. She's going to be okay. And so then people come and they're constantly pouring into you because they see you as strong. But here's what's real. Muscles only get strong because we work them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So if we are strategic around how we engage with self, because how we engage with self is how we interact with other people, period. Period.
That's true.
So self-care is brushing your teeth. Self-care is clearing your throat when it needs to be cleared. Self-care is making sure your ears are clean. Self-care is making sure that your glasses, you have your eyeglasses, the prescription is what it needs to be. Self-care is being careful not to squinch this line so that you can, grow older with grace. You don't look like what you've been through. Self-care is making sure your nails look the way they want to. Self-care for me is making sure my skivvies match, because I want to feel good about me all the time. Which means no matter how you treat me, I already know what I put my armor on. When I put my armor on, I put it on to come out and show you me, but also to remind me who the F I be.
Yes.
So that's self-care.
Yeah.
Too much?
No, perfect.
No, that is perfect.
No.
So an
I'm like,
example.
can you put that in a jar for me? Send it. I'll send you my address. Just put it in a little bottle, and then you know what Cammy's drinking? Like one of those. Put it in there.
Period.
Send it to
Period.
me.
It's like hot sauce, baby. You got to put it on everything.
Andrea, you don't play. I love it.
I don't. Not a serious. Not a gang. Not a gang.
So Lauren, I let everybody else talk. It's your turn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? I think this is probably the worst topic for me because I really struggle with self-care, and everything that Andrew was talking about is basically me. Like, is everyone else okay? Is everyone else okay? And I think it really hit home. Probably, I'd say on my birthday, the day after my birthday, on the Friday, and I wasn't in the mood to do anything. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to, and it was because I think I was just empty. I felt empty, like everything has been given to everyone else. You know, what do you need? What do you need? What do you want to do? And I just felt like there's nothing left today. So by the time I got to that, so I think for me, in talking about self-care, I'm very aware of all the things you guys are talking about. I'm very aware of the things I need to be doing. And I'd say just this week, I was selfish, I was going to say, Andrea. And I was like, no, I built in the gym this week. I built in the, today I had so much stuff to do. What did I do? I stayed in bed. I said, today I was like, I'm just throwing everything out. So I am aware, but my problem is it's not consistent. So self-care to me, the small things that Andrea's spoken about, we all know what we need to be doing in order to pour into ourselves, but it's the reality looks very different sometimes, and that's the bridge, I think, for myself that I need to kind of get up and connect with every day.
I'm not sure we do all know. Going off of what Nicole said, she talked about her mom, right? So see, we've been taught, we've been conditioned.
Exactly.
We've been conditioned. But if you look back to the beginnings of enslavement, and there's always been enslavement, pardon me, and my name is pronounced Andrea.
Oh, like Andrea, sorry.
That's okay. But if we look back to conditioning, right? And I always tell people I am a micro clinician. So when I went to school to get my master's degree, it was with this very grand idea to change, to be a publicly elected official. But it wasn't for the sake of, it was not for the sake of being powerful. It was for the sake of, I worked as a special education teacher, and I have always, I do well in crisis. That's just period. That's because that's how my central nervous system was rigged, because I came from, again, very hard beginnings.
Yeah.
So while other people are losing their ish while the Titanic is going down, I am the one saying, no, get the board, get the raft, get the, and I was also in the military. So I'm true to this. This is what I do. This is who I am. However, it's important, again, thinking about the grand scheme of things, that if you've not made it a part of your life, it is because it has not become a true reality for you yet.
Yeah.
And the reality is, again, and I say this to the patients that I work with all the time, some of them get a little pissed, we teach people how to treat us.
It's so true.
We teach people how to treat us by way of how we are treating ourselves.
Yeah. And that's evident not only just in our lives with in work or anything, that's also evident in our relationships. So when you're in an intimate relationship, your partner watches how you treat yourself and mimics the way you treat yourself. That's why I remember, ladies, when we talked about relationships, I talked about taking accountability for my role in those relationships that didn't go well, because I saw it as my partner saying something or doing something to me. But what it really was how I felt about myself and how I was actually treating myself. So we also have to be very mindful of that everyone is watching. Like Andrea said about her kids. My son is the same way. He's seen me, take care of myself while also taking care of others. So in his mind, he's like, my mom doesn't need anything. My mom is okay. My mom will be okay. My mom knows how to jump hurdles and hold a barrel of water over her head at the same time. So we teach our kids that, but what we also, I wholeheartedly agree with her when she says we need to make it very obvious to other people how to treat us by the way that we treat ourselves. So we neglect, a lot of us go around neglecting just certain things when it comes to our mental health, when it comes to our emotional health, waving it off. We talked about certain things when we talked about the strong Black woman syndrome or the stereotype that we get. Those play a part in it too, subduing our emotions, subduing our feelings so that other people feel like it's okay for them to, treat us certain ways. And it's not. Like we got to learn how to stand up for ourselves. I think that's a very much a part of self-care. Yeah, showing up as your authentic self is very much a part of self-care as well.
I agree. And it starts by saying no.
Yeah.
The first is really starting by saying no. And in my case, I had to assess the past few weeks some relationship of mine because some people were pushing it, and I realized that I gave them basically the knife to stab me. So the goal was to take back my power and say no.
Take back that knife, Nicole. Is that what you did? Give me that knife back. Give me that.
And say no. And sometimes it's hard to really look at yourself and say, oh my God, I did this. I basically gave them the weapon to harm me. And that is hardcore. But once you start realizing it, once you start seeing yourself doing it, then there's no going back into.
But it's years and years and years of unlearning something that is, like you said, generational, right? So
it's not so much years and years, but it's also, like Andrea was saying as well, the social construct, post-slavery, and really unlearning all these patterns and things that were not for us to begin with, and were harmful to us to start, So basically, when you take care of yourself, it's basically a major act of decolonization for yourself as a Black woman, I say. It starts really there.
Yeah. It is. I mean, if we talk about, like Andrea said, going back to slavery, we were conditioned mentally not to care for ourselves, but to care for other people and put other people's needs and wellness ahead of our own. So that now what we also mimic is the fact that that's what our mothers and our grandmothers did as well. So that's go ahead, Andrea.
Well, what I want to say, I want to piggyback on a lot of things of what you guys said. We have to, if we could begin to, and this is why I say I am a trauma alchemist, because when I hear people talk, I see puzzles and I'm able to like put it together. Here's this. What if we extended ourselves grace? Because Cammie and I had a conversation about this. I just looked it up again because this is something that I quote often, but epigenetics, right? Epigenetics, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who has great work in literature with regards to the biology of belief and how he was able to determine that how our soul responds. So as humans, right, we are a trifecta. We are mind, body, soul.
Yeah.
Not because Andrea said so, but because it's in the literature. We are mind, body, soul, period. So there is a constant conversation that is happening. I'm just going to toss out some data real quick. Humans all humans, no matter what culture you come from, we have at least 60,000 thoughts a day.
Yes.
At least 60,000 thoughts a day. The strong woman is, I want to do a mind hack on that. And I want to do a mind hack on that. Interestingly, that's what my dissertation is about, because this is what oppression does. Oppression, I use and I'm excited, so I'm all over the place, but I promise you it's going to connect. I use Boondocks for an example. They talk about Uncle Ruckus and Uncle Ruckus. Ruckus.
Yes.
So
this thing is really good.
So Uncle Ruckus is demonstrative of what is happening to us internally when we are cutting off our nose to spite our face. Yeah. Meaning, hold on, we can connect it even more. Hold on. The bluest eye. So Uncle Ruckus and the bluest eye, both of them are saying the same thing.
Yes.
I do not love myself because I've been beaten up. I've been abused. I've been, everyone around me has shown me that I'm not supposed to like myself. So then I become that. That's called internalization. So I am internalizing racism. I am internalizing self-hate. But here is this. When folks were put into captivity, the Black woman, the woman period, was made the strong lead.
Yeah.
I'm going to slap you around and then I want you to go and make my dinner. But I've slapped you around so much so that I'm going to have you to be afraid to take your power back, which is slide something in my dinner so I'll shut my face and leave you alone.
Thank you. Yes. Yes.
So it is just merely a mind hack. So what if we soften rather than have sharp edges and say, I need to have some grace. I choose to have some grace with myself around this practice. Why? Let me connect it. As an educator, I learned, which was one of the most powerful things for me, and I've been off and flying since. Here is this, ladies. All behavior is learned. All, not some.
All of it.
Absolutely.
So oftentimes when we're doing something, Nicole, Lauren, Cammie, it's just out of habit.
Yes. Yeah, of course it is.
But
and that's what it's like years and years of just on this wheel and not even trying
not breaking this cycle.
Breaking this because it's just a habit.
It's just a habit. But that's also what you said about all behaviors are learned is what I also teach to my nutrition clients when I talk to them about diabetes and high blood pressure. Because Western medicine would have you believe that these are genetic diseases, and they're not. They're not.
To a degree, they are for epigenetics because trauma stays in the family.
Right. That's right.
Go ahead.
A lot of it comes from behaviors that we learn from our parents and our grandparents, especially when you talk about their eating routines and who taught you how to eat. Your parents taught you how to eat. Your grandparents
and your relationship with food. I think we've spoken about how it is. Even like if you look at a Thanksgiving, even like I said in a Caribbean household on a Sunday, or even not even a Sunday. If you're a traditional Caribbean family, rice and peas, rice, fat. It's every day, to be fair. So it's just one of those things we've just learned to kind of just have and do. And I think it does take a lot to start breaking away, those little pieces of what we've been doing over years and years as just the norm. You know what I mean? You have to kind of piece it together and take. And I think a lot more people are doing that. I don't know. When we talk about self-care, if I look at my mum compared to me, I do a lot more self-care than what my mum would have done because I go and get my hair, just the basics. I get my hair done. I do have a day to myself every once in a while. I don't remember my mum doing any of those things, just generally. She didn't ever look at getting her nails done or any of that. It just didn't even enter her world. So I think I do little things that are different. And I think if you're looking overall, women, Black women especially, in their 40s, in their 50s, in their 60s, they look completely different to a previous generation of that same age group. Completely different. So there's something that we are doing that must be a bit different, because we are looking different. We are looking more vibrant. We are, do you know what I mean? I mean, I see some women in their 60s. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing?
I don't know about that, because my grandmama 96 years old and she looked like she in her 70s. So she,
I think it's one-off. So if you look at, I'm talking more about maybe the hair, the dress sense, the whole, the fitness. You know what I mean? Just getting into routine, the food they eat, the holidays, all those sorts of things. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I mean, did your grandmother used to go off on cruises a lot and stuff?
Yes.
She's one off.
And let me be honest with you. She actually took us with her. So growing up, we had family trips every year.
But not on her own.
Not on her. Well, I have to take that back, because yes, she did. She's mad right now at my auntie because my auntie went on a cruise without her. So yeah, she.
But Cammie, excuse me, it sounds like your grandma was a renegade. It sounds like
Yeah,
your
I was
grandma
gonna
was a
say.
woman before her time.
One
Just
off.
like my grandma, who died at 103, who was
Wow.
born in 1913.
Yeah.
And though I never saw her with a man, she had men plentiful. She was married, but that's not my point. My point is that she owned land, property, and so
Wow.
many cars, honey. It was a running joke. Like how did Belle get cars all the time? So there are people like Harriet Tubman too,
Of
you know,
course.
Fannie Lou Hamer, who didn't practice life as normal. Why?
Yeah.
Type of
But
exposure.
do you see that they stand out?
Well, they
And
have
they
some type of
stand out.
exposure to something different.
Yeah, exactly. Because the
Mhm.
norm, that wasn't it's not the norm. It wasn't a norm. It was the abnorm, but it wasn't. It was just
But
they
it was
were
their
doing
normal because
Yeah.
they had been exposed to, there you go,
Exactly.
they had been exposed. And so that's why I was saying, see, this just hones in the point, what I was saying, which is true. All behavior is learned. So if all behavior is learned, that means that a new behavior, or what we call a replacement behavior, can be put in space of, if I have a cocaine habit, well, what is the cocaine doing for me? So you dial it down to what is the cocaine doing for me so that you can find a replacement behavior.
Yeah.
So it's like we are composting our life, Lauren. Nothing is not of value. Everything is of value. And we alchemize it by making it valuable by way of how we choose to utilize it. Did that land? Did I wrap that
landed. That's going to be a clip. It's going to be a clip.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I get really excited. And
I love
it. Like I said, people are going to be saying, "Can you put it in a jar?" I'm telling you, you're selling them.
Well, they can reach out to me for services, because this is what I do. I'm here to. I have been through a lot, and so I ask my patients this all the time: what's the difference and the similarities between superheroes and villains? Anybody?
I don't think it's much. I think it's just a
I
matter
don't think there's much either. It's just the side that they're on.
Yeah, perspective.
So here's this. Very true. All true. So all of us can be a villain or a superhero, but it's just the fact that we chose. See, villains choose to use those things that hurt them so that they're never hurt again.
Yeah.
Superheroes choose to use the things that hurt them so that nobody else is hurt. And that's how we get stronger, wiser, better. And that's what I do. Every space that I have been really, really hurt, drugged through over the coals, I'm here to talk about it to other people, because Viktor Frankl, Nelson Mandela, finding purpose in pain. If somebody else gets a win off of some pain that I experienced, it's a win for me.
It's a win. Yeah. I love that. That what you just said and I don't know if you got, I watched this when my son was younger. There's a cartoon movie called Megamind. And
No.
it actually is about what you just said. He was the villain initially in the world, but he turned into the superhero. And it was just a matter of him changing how he saw things and changing, what he thought. And not only just him, but other people realizing that he had changed as well. So he went from being the villain to being the superhero.
And so here's this. Think about that for a moment. People who have narcissistic personality disorder, people who are narcissistic, these are people who have been deeply hurt.
Yep.
How powerful are you if you are so afraid of ever being hurt again that you would perpetuate that onto other people? You're not that brave. So if you're constantly having to beat up somebody else, if you're constantly having to switch the rules of the game to win, have you really won?
No.
Mm-mm.
You're not winning, but not only are you not winning, but you're cheating yourself.
On period. And that is why I love generational trauma and I love epigenetics, because here's what's real. The animal kingdom and the human kingdom, it all matches. It all replicates itself. So if you are an animal in the forest and you can't get up fast enough, that's all, folks, right? You're going to get eaten. So all these people that are in power, the 10% that rules the 90%, they do that because they're not thriving. Their generations aren't continuing to go. Why? Because they don't know how to plant a seed. They don't know how to do anything with their own grit, strength, or tenacity. They only know how to manipulate the vitality of other people who are in oppression.
That's it. That is it.
That's it.
Yep. Drop the mic right there.
That's where that control, that I have to be in control mindset comes from. I have to be in control, because if you're in control, you might do better than me, or you might go do this, do that. You might outdo me, but I can't have you outdo me. And that's where that control mindset comes from. Right. And I can't allow you to think that you could actually do better than me either.
Right. So then that means that the person who is oppressed, they really do have the power. It's just a matter of a change of perspective. A Course in Miracles defines a miracle as a change in perspective.
100%.
That's why I'm not even gonna lie. That's why podcasts like this and podcasts who focus on helping Black women and helping other women of color or women period are so important, so that we all can understand that we have to change our perspective on life. You can either choose to be oppressed, or you can choose to, move forward in your power. And it is my desire that we all choose to move forward in our power. Period.
So, and I do this because see, folks like to, no shade, no tea. Folks like to come from different countries to the United States, and because this whole race concept was one that was created by the United States. And it's just so crazy how in the United States, they will literally ask you on your applications and stuff, what's your race? And then they have African Americans. Like, when we everybody knows it's just the human race. Like, everybody knows that, but they buy into this concept. So here's my message. Women of color, people of color, I'm talking about your skin, because when you go into the doctor's office to receive care, you can put on there that you Caucasian and all this and stuff if you want to, but they are still looking at your skin. And that is where the systematic oppression, depression, and racism is going to take place.
It has no difference.
Period. So I'm doing an all call because it's not highly advertised, but the truth is, it is at epidemic proportions.
Yes.
The folks that look like us who are dying by suicide.
Yes.
So that is why I am here Like, I don't care if I offend somebody. I don't care if I piss somebody off, because to be in a place where you are suicidal and feeling like you are in the 19th realm of hell, you already don't feel well.
Yep.
So to be able to ring the alarm and come with some spiciness, curse words and all, peppering up the food so that you know that, hey, I can just think about this differently and I might be okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm here to do. I don't care if it offends you, my bad.
We had all that last week, didn't we? We
We talked about that community, how as a community, what roles we play in making sure that what you just said, people like us don't have to feel like suicide is their option.
Only answer.
Yeah.
Not just the only answer.
Yeah.
And I think I had this discussion with you where we talked about the rise of this suicide epidemic.
It's at epidemic proportions, but they're not. But that's not in the news. But it's epidemic.
That's what we talked about too. About it, it's not just out there for us to understand and know. They hide that part.
Yeah, because
they hide it because they don't want it to be relevant.
Yeah.
But also, if you start making things, like you said, relevant and bringing it to the forefront, guess what? It's going to be in the forefront. We're going to start talking about it. Start having conversations. We're going to start trying to work out how we can make changes in that. If you don't think it's an issue, you never touch upon it.
Right.
Now, last week we talked about the epidemic of suicide in Black males. But you know what you just made me think about right now is at one point, do you remember a few years back when all of these high-powered, elevated Black women were killing themselves?
Well, they're still doing it now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was out there then where I think they were surprised that it was happening. And these women who were educated, who had all of these business goals, who were doing all of these what they consider successful things in life, just up one day and decided life was over for them.
But that's because of the microaggressions at the workplace.
Yeah.
Like, even as a business owner, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time and energy on that because what we water grows.
Yeah.
But what I will say is that I am attempting to initiate peer counseling training so that folks who haven't even gone to school can be able to have a better idea and comfortability around what to say to someone who seems hopeless.
Yeah. But and let's roll that back a little bit. That's actually a part of self-care, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I agree.
That's just a part of self-care. And I say this because I often say I am not my sister's keeper, but I am my sister, which means that, I understand where she's coming from. I understand what she's going through. I understand all of that. And it's my responsibility to make sure she's in a place to see who she is, to understand her power and to understand her worth and her value as well.
Facts. And the way that we do that, again, is how we treat ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because if you walk into a room, you've seen people, some people, they walk into the room and it's like they're floating. If you're a secure person, they motivate you. Let me put on some red lipstick too. Let me get me some black frame, black rim glasses too. Let me go and, I'm trying to get my hair and nails did too, because iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
So that's a great point, Cammie. That's why it's so important to take care of yourself, because other people are watching and they're learning how to take care of themselves through you too.
Yeah. I think I made a post a couple of days back because of what I had been going through for the past 6 months. And I went and got my hair. I did my hair. I went and got my eyebrows arched. I went and put on lashes. And I even posted, I said, hey, I know usually I look a little homely when I get on and, do these videos or post pictures of myself. I said, but today I am definitely feeling myself because of the way that I look. And I'm bringing the old Cammie back so that you guys can understand that when I talk about thriving after trauma, that I'm talking about literally thriving in every way. That is from your head to your toes, from inside out, how you look, how you feel, what you say, how you approach others, how you allow others to approach you as well. Andrea dropped off.
Oh, did we lose her? Oh no.
Yeah, but that's okay. It's time. She had to go. She's got a client coming in at 10.
Okay.
So she's good.
What she said
I
was
mean,
very, very
energy, full of fact, full of, just enthusiasm, and actually kicks that door in. If you have any doubts, if you have any, she literally came in and was like, boom.
And I told y'all she was going to do, there she is. Okay, I thought you were gone because I know you had an appointment.
Girl, but I do have to go. It is 10:50. That was an accident, child. This is a day in the life of Andrea. Girl, this is what you call neurosparkly. Just in case y'all didn't know. You can be intelligent and scatterbrained at the same time. I'm a living, walking witness.
Listen, I am too. Don't worry about it. Look, I have those moments myself where I forget everything. Yeah. So,
guys, thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
I have a podcast too. I want to schedule to have y'all on.
And don't forget the jar. Can you just?
I'm so like I feel like how I imagine a person may feel who's won the lottery, having met you all.
Oh,
and I thank you for that.
Get you back for our uncensored.
That is
we'll have you back. I'm going to send you an invite so you can come to our uncensored conversations.
Okay. Oh, yes.
I'll send you like screenshots of my schedule. I have a new assistant for now that can maybe help me with things getting like organized.
For now.
Take that out. I'm sorry. But yeah, I want to do this more. Like, we need to do this more. I would love to invite you guys to my podcast as a group.
We would love to be on your podcast.
Okay. Oh, yes. That sounds lovely.
We love to support other
We have so many things that we need to say.
A breath of fresh air on this episode. We absolutely love you being here. And we're definitely going to have you back next season as well.
And you kept us all quiet, Andrea. You kept us all quiet, which means you commanded your space. So now I'm going to get glasses like you now.
Listen. I used to be a school teacher to children who had probation officers, baby. So I know how to get a room together without there being any violence. No violence. Okay? I can get it together.
You got this.
We love you.
I love you guys too. Thank you so much. Namaste.
We'll see you later.
Okay.
Take care.
Yes.
Oh, that was great.
I told you she was.
Yes, that was awesome. That was awesome.
She and I had a very long conversation. I think we were on the phone for like 2 hours the other night, and it was just going to the point that we forgot what time it was. Yeah.
The aliens.
What you saying?
Hello?
I said the aliens have got you. It was like really Thanksgiving time. That's what it is.
Yeah. Y'all know I'm about to go cook. So
yes.
We know what type of
all coming to Cammie's to come and gate crash.
Yes, listen, look, I'm gonna be cooking in several different ways today. Okay. I'm gonna be getting languages. I'm gonna be getting my self-care in. Okay.
And languages. Uncensored, Cammie. Uncensored. Say something.
I'm gonna get my self-care in the morning when you call me, Lauren. I don't even know if I'm gonna have these lashes on still.
But listen,
Lauren has left the building.
You look glowy and just juicy and everything. So
you got her anywho.
I've been doing. Hold on, Lauren. Wait. I got a joke for Lauren. Remember the last time you called me on video phone and what I was doing in the bathroom?
I don't think that.
So check this out. Last night, I ran and did the same thing again.
And you didn't call me. That's our moment. So Cammy, last time, Cammy was shaving her legs, and the bath gave me she switched on her camera and was like, Lauren, and then she's talking to me. I'm like, are you shaving your legs? That's our moment. That was our moment.
I had a friends with benefits call, so it was last moment.
I'm like,
and at that point, you guys know I had not indulged in anything of that nature.
This is not the uncensored version. Why are we giving away all the excitement right now? Why?
Because it's self-care. Look, it's self-care still. Okay?
Yep, that's part of self-care. And that is
Nicole's like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and that's naughty too. I'm listening to this and I'm like,
yeah, like it's self-care, Lauren. I had to go I had to go show somebody how to take care of me. Okay.
Let me just
Is that
right here.
Wow, I can smell something burning over there, Cammy. You sure?
I'm positive. Okay.
Is that pie? You burning your pie, Cammy?
No pies are burning. Nothing is burning. Nope. So today I'm gonna go spend time with my.
I hope you have a lovely, lovely day with all the family.
Yeah, have a wonderful Thanksgiving with all the members of your family, all your loved one. Be safe on the road.
Yeah. Nicole makes me laugh. Nicole knows what she wants to say, Nicole safe on the road.
Be safe on the road.
On the road.
Yes, because you got plans. So
I'm getting ready to take this ride.
I'm going now, yeah. You guys are taking the piss. No, Nicole. When Nicole's you guys. I'm going. When you don't start doing cowboy moves, this is not working.
Yippee yay!
Hold on.
I got a cowgirl hat too now. Listen, y'all forget I lived in Texas.
I think she took the sweet potato pie to a whole nother level, and you're encouraging her, Nicole. You're encouraging her.
Listen,
what's this? What's this, Nicole? What's this?
Nicole, tell her that yams are good for menopause.
Oh my God, it is extremely good for menopause. It is good for you. It is a healthy source of carb. Yes, it is good for you.
Thank you. Oh God.
You are naughty.
Nicole, you understand what you started. Get out of here.
Lord, that's gonna be a hot Thanksgiving for some people, all right?
Oh, I'm out of here. You guys
and watch this, Lord. I got somebody who's not American. He's Haitian. So he made oxtails and rice and peas.
Oh,
yes. Let me tell you how much of a really good friends we are. Yes. So today, yes, we're going to celebrate with our family and friends and all of that stuff. But tomorrow, he is deep frying a turkey.
Nice. So that's you.
Yeah,
that's you then.
So tomorrow we're recreating Thanksgiving all over again. So tomorrow he's deep frying a turkey. I'm making dressing. I'm making macaroni and cheese. All of that stuff.
We already spoke about this food situation. I'm not talking to you anymore, Cammy, about it. And Nicole, don't encourage her. I'm done with this.
I'm just saying, self-care comes in different ways. Okay.
Oh, yes. It comes in different ways inside.
Let me ask you all one more question. I'm gonna. Now, how do you approach self-care as an act of empowerment and self-love rather than just another task on your to-do list?
I think you need to separate it from being a task. I think, like you guys said earlier, if it's a part of a routine of like something you're just building into who you are as a person, it's not something on your list. So you don't look at brushing your teeth as something on your list. You just do it.
Yeah.
You know? And also I think it's about focusing on the things that make you feel good, because the things that make you feel good, you don't look at them as tasks.
Exactly.
And so I think that's really important to do, to kind of not look at it as, oh, I've got to do that, but you know, that or that. It's got to be, no, that is just a part of what I'm doing, and everything else is the list, you know?
Mm-hmm. So I agree with you on that. What about you, Nicole?
Well, it's just we're all different and everything, but it's just a matter of giving ourselves grace and doing trial and errors and see what's working for you. Because you're going to see if something is really stick, it's because you like it and you have nicely integrated it. But also, don't hesitate to try other stuff as well. You know, you don't need to have an hour workout right there in the morning. You can spread it up and like 15 minutes in the morning.
Sorry, I can't take it. I tried to hold it in. I tried to. Sorry, go on, Nicole. Sorry.
It's okay, Lorraine. It's okay. You can spread it up along the day. Excuse my French here. It's just a matter of organization and and just always think about
organization and orgasms. They work hand in hand.
Nicole's trying to say organize your orgasms, okay?
Well, that is a,
don't get it all in.
Matter to organize.
Don't get it all in the morning. Spread it throughout the entire day.
Exactly. A little bit of a sprinkle in the morning, a little sprinkle for lunch, a little sprinkle for dinner. That's 3 times a day, y'all.
That's the best way to do it, Nicole.
It hurts. Guys, my stomach is hurting. Can you stop? I'm done.
Okay. This is my last question. Then we're gonna wrap it up. What advice would you give?
Wrap it up.
Look what we have started. Okay. What advice would you give to someone who is struggling to incorporate time for self, or feels guilty actually about putting themselves first?
Ask Nicole, because this is what my problem is.
Well, see, Lauren, then you can give it from that perspective.
Yeah, what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Because you have integrated exercises to your routine.
Yeah. So I think that's why I said it's about not making it a task, but making it something that you are doing as part of, like, you have a wash, you get in the shower, you brush your teeth, you do all these things. So I think adding the things that make you happy to that as part of this a routine, whether it's you take an extra 5 minutes even just to do your hair because you like how, you know, you feel when it's done, and that's going to the bottom of your list. I think that, I mean, it does. It makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. And I think if you can just start saying what makes you feel good and identifying what makes you feel good, I think then you can put into perspective, how do I put this in my everyday, rather than, oh, you know, I've got to do that and that and that and that, you know.
I'm going to piggyback off what you said, and I'm going to use myself as an example. So I would rush to get on these calls, rush to do my meetings, all of that stuff. As of lately, because I love the way that I look and I love the way that I feel when I look good.
You look damn hot.
I have literally been going to sleep every night with rollers in my head.
Yeah. It's
I I make it a point. I take the time to roller set my hair, especially since I learned how to lay this wig.
Yeah.
I've taken the time to make sure that I look good every day. And and it's not for anyone else. It's
because how it makes you feel.
Of
so
how
when
it makes
you know that and you get on that road, it's the same like the gym. I've been doing the gym, and at first I was like, just do it. Just don't think about it, just do it. And after you get into like third, fourth day, you're actually like, I like coming here. It's not that I in the beginning you don't, but by then you're like, actually, what it's doing for my mind,
yes,
it's really helping.
Let's say gym, beauty care, all of those things. You don't think you actually have time for those. But even though we were joking earlier about, me and Lauren's phone call while I was in the bathroom shaving, you can ask Lauren. That same day, I did my own pedicure. I literally sat right here with my feet soaking in water. I got the whole, where is it? Like the whole thing that they give you, that they have at the nail shop. I got a bunch of these, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4 stages of it. So I did all of that in one day.
And also, I think, with the gym, what I've done now is go and do 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't have to put the pressure on an hour and a half.
Yeah,
before you was like, no, you have to do an hour. You have to do this. You have to.
No.
If you would just go and do 20 minutes, and that relieves so much, because in the day I would say, and where am I going to get an hour from to go and do
and that's what I was saying. We'll take an hour to go to the nail shop. It took me. I sat here for 20 minutes with my feet soaking. I painted my nails, put them under the UV lamp because I got gel nails stuff. I was doing my other self-care. I had a facial on. I was doing all of that. It literally took me an hour to do everything that I was doing. And what I realized is I'm wasting time for an hour anyway on most days.
We're doing mentally, though. It's mental gymnastics before we've even done it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I have no excuse not to take care of myself physically. I was giving myself excuses. Oh, you don't have to comb your hair today. Just wet it and puff it out, do your curls, and you'll be fine. But now it's like, no, you really need to get up and you need to do your hair. You really need to get up and you need to spend a couple of minutes pulling yourself together. Whereas before, that's why I even apologized to the public. I was like, hey, I know I've looked homely for a couple of months, but that's because I was still trying to figure out who I was, where I was.
You're allowed to do that.
But you're allowed, and you have to give yourself grace for that. We're all going through it. Like for a lot of us, 2024 was a hell of a year. Jesus.
Oh, it was.
So now is really, like was saying Andrea, like a little bit of soft time for you. And it can be walking down the street. It can be opening your window and watching the sky, which is really kind of soothing for your soul. It can be cooking yourself a nice meal that takes 20 minutes, calling a good friend. It can be anything that makes your heart content. Like today, for example, I received lots of little messages from friends for Thanksgiving, and that made my day. That really made my day.
It's just nice thing.
Made my day. Let me tell you, I have this good friend of mine that I met at work several years ago, and he sent me the nicest message. It's a happy day of gratitude, Nicole. I hope your blessings continue and you are forever filled with grace.
Oh, and that's and that is the simplest thing that then has a knock-on effect of how you feel for your day and what then you go on to do to someone else. And that's
exactly. And sometimes, and it's just like, it's a little message, but this really, like, it made me cry, first of all, but it was just perfect.
Yeah. So here in the United States, if you're listening, today is Thursday, and you guys know we record on Thursday. So it's Thanksgiving here in the United States. But one of the things that we as a culture or as a people have recognized is that this day caused a lot of harm to other people of culture, of color. So because of our respect for heritage and things like that, we've sort of taken this day and transitioned it into meaning something else.
Right.
Whereas it used to stand for this, whatever happened between the Pilgrims and the Indians, we no longer accept that as part of our history. And we turn it into a day of gratitude. So it's one day, whereas every day we're supposed to focus on gratitude, but today is the day that we like to call Thankful Day or Gratitude Day, where everything we do is around gratitude and growth and giving thanks for the things that have been implemented in our lives. I did a live on my Facebook page right before we got on, and I talked about gratitude, growth, and thriving after trauma, and how, you know, when we go meet with our families or we go fellowship with our families and friends, some of us are facing traumatic situations, which causes us to, you know, not want to go and not be grateful. But I talked about my relationship with my mom, and I talked about how that has grown and how, you know, I'm grateful for that, but how I had to look at my mom as a human being and not just as a parent, and give gratitude for, you know, the things that she was able to do versus the things that I wanted her to do, and how that helped me build my own personal relationship and helped us grow in our relationship as well. So I say all that to say that, you know, as we're out here celebrating and giving thanks and doing all of that, we need to be walking around telling each person why we're grateful for them. So
I agree.
Grateful for meeting you and for you to smile and laugh as much as you do. Nicole, I am grateful for meeting you and for you allowing myself to pour out into you and for you to pour back into me. So I'm grateful for meeting both of you ladies on this day, and I'm grateful for having both of you all in my life. So thank you.
I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you two ladies is
that really changed my life in like such a way.
We're all just there for each other, and I think it's such a good thing, isn't it? No matter where we are in the world.
And it goes back to self-care. And if I'm being honest, it just feels like the universe set us all up to find each other at the right time.
I absolutely believe that.
Yeah. And we needed each other in such a way. And it just became a part of our self-care routine, so to speak. And you guys are a part of my life. I'm a part of your life. And it goes back to healing parts of us that needed to be healed, a sisterhood, friends that we can literally just like we said on this podcast, it's like three girlfriends that get together and just talk often. And that literally is what self-care is about.
It is. Thank you.
It truly is.
All right, ladies, we're gonna wrap this up. So let's go ahead and do our outro. So thank you, ladies. And I know y'all don't want to talk about food with me no more because I'm about to go cook now.
Bye.
Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Dear Black Woman. It is a podcast that features three Black women from three different countries who are talking about issues that affect Black women everywhere. We hope today's conversation inspired you to make space in your life for self-care and reminded you that taking time for yourself isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. A big thank you to Andrea Cennington, the Boho Therapist, for sharing her insights with us. If you love this episode, please share it with someone who might need a little more self-care in their life. And don't forget to follow, share, subscribe, comment, and watch us on your favorite podcast platform. And as always, a special shout out to Rabbit Production for providing us with our intro and outro music. Until next time, remember, self-care is self-love. It's not selfish, and you deserve to be loved and cared for. Thank you, and have a great day, you guys. Dear Black Woman is a podcast where we dive into the challenges, current events, and everyday realities Black women face around the world.
We're here to share real stories, offer practical advice, and create a safe space for authentic conversations that empower and inspire.
Join us each week as we connect, uplift, and celebrate the resilience and strength of Black women everywhere. Listen to Dear Black Woman on your favorite podcast platform.
Are you okay, Corneri?